What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, and make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content we have coming out. Now, for this video, we're going to be jumping into S.W.O.R.D issue number 7. And if you haven't been keeping up with this line, go ahead and check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything going on in this line. And right off the bat, I'm gonna have to say this is arguably my favorite issue so far from the S.W.O.R.D line. And specifically because it's got one of my favorite characters, and that's Dr. Doom. But that's not the only reason, because there's so much more going on in here. And this is going to be picking us up the morning after the Hellfire Gala. And with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright guys, so as we dive into issue number 7, we are picked up on Throne World. Built from the ruins of Gala, we see Emperor Hulkling. And he is currently bringing Captain Glory back from his banishment. And Captain Glory being excited, to serve his Emperor again. But as he's teleported in and he looks around, it is a freaking bloodbath. And he hasn't been briefed. He has no idea on exactly what is going on. So Emperor Hulkling lets him know that they are currently under siege by mindless ones. And as it stands, they need all hands on deck. And he lets him know that the mindless ones, they're magical entities. They're walking engines of total destruction, aimed and fired by Dormammu. This force, they come, they see, and they conquer, and right now, they are entirely focused on the Kree-Skrull Alliance. Wiccan currently on Skrullo because right now they're getting hit on many different fronts, and not wanting to be seen as taking sides or playing favorites, they have to protect both of these planets. And then we see the portals open up. The next wave of mindless ones are about to make their appearance. And as Captain Glory looks to the sky, he sees one of the giant mindless ones appearing from a giant portal. Being able to teleport them directly to the battlefield and not really having a size limitation. This is exactly why Captain Glory was brought back. Because while Hulkling and everybody else are fighting the forces on the ground, they need Captain Glory to take out these heavy hitters. Because as it stands, those big guys have already taken out 2 warships. And Captain Glory tells him that he's probably going to have to call for backup. And he lets us know that he's called Earth. He got a hold of Alpha Flight. The Guardians are currently also fighting, but they have yet to hear anything from Earth or the Avengers. The only people they have heard from is Alpha Flight. Or at least that's the only people that they have been able to actually send a communication to. But that's when we're taken to planet Arakko, formerly known as Mars, now terraformed into the new mutant world. And currently we have Storm and Dr. Doom sitting down having a conversation. And while Dr. Doom, he tries to play on some pleasantries to get this conversation going, to kind of break the ice, Storm really doesn't want to waste her time, telling him to stop flirting, stop really wasting his time because it's unbecoming of him. And so passing over all the small talk, they jump into the conversation because he's here to truly talk about matters that are perhaps serious enough to end worlds. And so he wants to speak on Mysterium. He wants to talk about Mysterium and what it has brought upon them. And so I really do love this banter between them, because Storm being like the new regent of Soul, that makes her more or less the ruler. There's obviously their plays of checks and balances and so on and so forth. But when anybody has something that they want to discuss, they're going to talk to her. And that's exactly what Dr. Doom is doing. Dr. Doom is coming to her and trying to talk to her about how Mysterium is going to cause problems on a much bigger scale than anybody anticipated. And that's because of where Mysterium originates from. But that's what will take us back to the battle, with Captain Glory doing his best to take out these giant monsters. Hulking cutting his way through all the mindless ones and getting in communication with L'Oreal, the current accuser and sister to Captain Marvel. Now, L'Oreal is currently in charge of the Southern Front, and as it stands, she says it's not looking good. Because as it stands, all of these forces are able to teleport directly onto the battlefield. So it's not giving them any time to have preparation. They're getting hit over and over and over again. And while they're having this conversation, Captain Glory sees a new giant mindless one making its way through a portal, but what he doesn't see is the one behind him. And these two giant mindless ones, they send a laser blast, blasting each other, but also hitting Captain Glory. In hitting Captain Glory, we see him fall from the sky along with these two giant ones. And as Captain Glory falls to his death, he thanks the Emperor for allowing him to be here to fight by his side and protect him one last time. And this is where things start to go really sideways. The Emperor's forces are getting overrun. There are too many of the mindless ones. And no matter how much he cuts, no matter how much he kills, they just keep coming. And while he is in the midst of shouting orders, one of these lasers hits his sword and shatters it to pieces. And so things are looking very bleak for Emperor Hulkling. And this is when we pick back up with Dr. Doom and Storm. And he's discussing Mysterium, the mutant miracle metal. But he's learned something about it. He's learned that it resonates with magic. And though this isn't information that the mutants have given away yet, this is freaking Dr. Doom. He's a doctor of the fifth fold art. He forged himself in the secret fire, and so he is not blind to what this is. He knows Mysterium is not of their reality. When they say they use mutant technology to create this, it's an elegant way of saying that it's magic. And it was condensed from primal carbons, kind of like cosmic particles that exist both outside of the cosmos and at the heart of it, all coming from one place, the above place, the white hot room, the mystery. And Storm, recognizing that he has figured out exactly where they got this from, she asks, are you jealous? Are you jealous that we were the first? And of course Dr. Doom says, no, I'm not jealous. I just would have taken other precautions. I would have worn gloves when I was stealing fire from heaven. And he warns them to be careful, because as it stands, they're dabbling in things they truly don't understand. And at this scale, they don't know what the consequences of their dabbling can be, but they can only assume that it is going to be extremely severe. This could truly alter the balance of things in the universe. And he lets her know that something is coming, and perhaps that something has already made its arrival. And this is when Abigail Brand telepathically communicates with Storm, letting Storm know that she's telepathing via Mentello. They just got word that the Kree-Skrull Alliance is under attack by the Mindless Ones, and they're not alone because Star-Lord is also reporting attacks. And they're also getting some weird traffic from the Shi'ar Empire. And as she's getting all of this information, Dr. Doom can see it in her face. He can see that she is already starting to figure out what he already knows. And so Dr. Doom offers up his knowledge. He offers up the opportunity to help teach them everything that they need to know. And then once he has helped them, they will discuss what Arakko is going to do for repayment. And Storm, hearing enough of this conversation, sends down a lightning bolt on the table, sending her message clear as day, letting Dr. Doom know that he is not needed. They don't need him for anything whatsoever. They could not possibly learn anything more from him, or at least that's Storm's recollection of it. That's how she's seeing it. Because as it is, they are already flying. They're way past walking, way past crawling. They're already in the sky. And Dr. Doom, being Dr. Doom, says, alright, this is completely fine. If this is the course you want to go, at least I can say that I tried to come to you guys with a little decorum. And so he can walk away from this conversation having no regrets. But he also walks away believing this Storm is going to regret this decision. Now, taking us back to Emperor Hulkling, all of his forces seem defeated. As he sits here and he's wounded, bleeding out, he fears that his mother may have been right. Not to trust Earth, not to trust the humans, not to trust Alpha Flight. But as he speaks these words, this is when we see the arrival of Abigail Brand and the rest of Alpha Flight. Abigail telling him that he really should have listened to her, because back at his wedding, Abigail told him that Alpha Flight does not work. And that's why she built S.W.O.R.D. Now, he doesn't want to leave the battlefield, not with some of his men still being here and fighting. And with a new wave about to teleport in, he wants to fight. But Abigail tells him that he needs to go. He needs to get to the med bay. It'll only take a couple of minutes for him to heal up, and then he can handpick the individuals he wants to come back and fight with him. And she's doing this because she wants to break some ice that's really built up between the Alliance and Krakoa. Because as it stands, Wiccan, he is the son of the Scarlet Witch. And with all of Krakoa calling her the Pretender and everything else, it puts a real bad taste in their mouth. Wiccan, being the husband to Emperor Hulkling, this is gonna have far-reaching implications. The only issue is, they don't know that Wanda is dead. Nobody has told them yet. This battle has been going on. And so we can only assume when they find out, they are gonna be pissed. And so they teleport him out of here and they get into high gear. Start beating the crap out of mindless ones. Now, Abigail is smart. This was all part of her plan. She did not give the information to Earth. The transmission that she got from the Emperor, she held on to. She did this specifically so she could say, look, the Avengers didn't show up for you, but S.W.O.R.D did. Krakoa showed up for you when no one else did, and they need this kind of leverage. Not only did they come here and save his life, but they're helping him fight. And they're gonna need this leverage when they finally tell him and Wiccan that Wanda was murdered on Krakoa. And really, this is the only thing that's going to help save them. Because if Emperor Hulkling, he decides that he doesn't care, if he wants some justice, he could bring war down on all of Earth, and there is nothing Earth could do about this. We're talking about an entire armada made up of two of the universe's greatest empires. And you just killed the Emperor's mother-in-law. But that will be where this issue ends. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I absolutely love this issue. From the battles going on all over to the conversation with Storm and Doctor Doom. It was absolutely phenomenal because Doctor Doom, at the end of the day, he's trying to play his card. He's trying to do what he can to win in this situation, to get the upper hand, to have some kind of leverage when it comes to Krakoa. The only issue is Storm isn't playing that game and lets him know at the end of the day, we don't need you, we don't want you. You can go back to where you came from. Now, I feel like with everything that has been going on, Krakoa is just taking too big of steps. She says that they're already flying. I don't think they should be flying yet. I think they're still in their running phase. They're still flapping their wings, but they haven't got there. And with them jumping so many steps, with so much going on, there's so much potential for Krakoa to fail. And though turning Doctor Doom down, it may be a good idea right now, in the rude manner she did it, I see it backfiring on them later on. But I don't know, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you have not yet, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content we have coming out. And until the next breakdown.